What's up, crew? Welcome back to Libertalia Game Supply. I've been playing around with the Bujins again, trying to figure out how to best use this Eclipse twins, and I think I've found some interesting stuff that you can do with it, but I don't know that it's all the way there yet. So if you're looking at this list right now and you've seen previous ones, you know I was using a little Bysteel engine in there. Essentially what happened was I decided that it got to the point where I was trying to shove too many little engines in there. So I have the Nemesis, which is still in there, the Bysteels. I was playing the Utopia double package with the ZW guys. I had these in there at one point so that you could make the F-Zero easier, and then I had this in there with that because if you searched this and didn't need it, you could make that. All sorts of nonsense. And it got to be super disjointed to where you were either drawing a handful of everything you needed or a handful of nothing at all to get you started, and then you just lose immediately. Like, there is no coming back. You're just done. Now, I had two options there. I could have either bumped the deck past 40 to fit the correct amount of everything in there to make it all work properly, or leave it at 40 and trim all that out. And as you can see, I decided on that last one to be the better option. Now back to the matter at hand, the Eclipse twins. This seems super busted. Well, I mean it is. In Ryzeal, it makes the deck quite a bit better, but just in general, in any deck that uses rank 4s and can also use Link monsters, it seems like a really easy way to get access to your extra deck in a way that most rogue and casual level decks just don't have. So the combo I'll show you here in a second essentially does the same one card combo that I showed in a previous video, which I can link down below if you haven't seen that yet. But it's basically one Torifoon can end you on the Silo Hat Rabbit, whatever trap monster you're choosing, and then Colossus, which is a pretty decent board off of one card in a Bujin deck. But now with the Eclipse twins, if you open the Bujin plus one of your extenders, being the Arasuda or the Harume or the Haruko, you can go that same board and add an SP on top of it, so a whole additional interrupt. So let's jump into this combo really quick. Maybe it'll give you a little bit of a better understanding of what I just talked about forever, and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Alright, so as I said, two card combo, gotta be the Torifoon plus an extender. So we've got Harume. If it's the Arasuda, it'll just change where you search a certain card. If you have the Haruko, same deal. So you'll get a search off of Susanoo early on and then later on. And both times you're just kind of adjusting what you're searching based on what this extender is. No big deal. So we'll start with this normal summon of Torifoon. It is the way every combo starts. We get our two summons, always Mahitatsu plus whatever you want. So here we need this hair in the graveyard because we're going to potentially need to banish it. So we're going to dump it off of the Mahitatsu effect. So we'll use that effect to banish the Torifoon in order to dump that hair. And this is entirely for the Nemesis setup, so you can get that Thunder Dragon Colossus on there pretty easy. We're going to get our first Susanoo summon, and then this is our first search. So I already have the Harume. We're going to get the rank up. So if you had the rank up here, you can get the Harume or Arasuda. The second search always is going to be the Harume, unless you had some weird board state that you could work around with something else, but there's no reason to worry about that. So we'll drop whatever material, does not matter. And we're going to grab that Haruko so we can rank up into our Amaterasu. So on initial viewing, you might think that's a waste of an Amaterasu. The only reason we got to do it this way is because we need those two rank 4 lowers in the graveyard in order to use that Eclipse Twins effect. And so that's what we're setting up right now. So we'll grab that Amaterasu, throw it on top, use that effect right away. So what we detach here doesn't really matter because it's all going to end up in the graveyard in a second. What you special summon doesn't matter because whatever you leave there is going to go back into the deck. I suppose it could matter a little bit because if you were to leave this in the banish zone, put it back in the deck with the Nemesis, you could then use it again later to get into the Kagutsuchi, so just keep that in mind as well. For now, we're going to use this extender in order to get our extra body on the board in Harume. So right here, if you had the Arasuda instead, you could banish the hair right now, trigger it, target whatever, it doesn't matter, it's not going to stay on the board, to then trigger the Arasuda, throw it on the board, and it's the same deal. And then you have your two in the banish zone. Because it's the Harume, we didn't need the hair this time around, but I just wanted to make sure that was noted. We're going to go into our Infernal Flame Banshee to get into our Thunder Dragon Colossus stuff. So we'll get that search, we'll grab our flag, and then you can start resetting the board. So this is why it also doesn't matter if you were to burn that hair on turn 1, because we can just set it up again by putting it back in the graveyard and dumping it with another Susanoo at another point. We'll get our search, grab our corridor, doing the same deal again here, put that Torifoon back, and now we have plenty of material to get going. So we're going to get the Colossus on board right away. It doesn't matter what order you're going in here. And then we're going to make this Eclipse Twins. So Eclipse Twins, we're going to use both of our rank 4s you got one body in the graveyard, and then we're going to link it away right away. It does have that double attack effect, so maybe that could come in handy if you're going second and you got an open board for whatever reason. Maybe they're also playing Bujins and Brick. But we're going to link these off into the Silhouette Rabbit. Rabbit is going to activate in order to get us our Azaroon, and then our Eclipse Twins is going to activate to put our Susanoo back on the board. So we'll take two. It doesn't matter which two. It's just got to be Susanoo, and then the other one doesn't make a difference. And we're going to summon that Susanoo, throw that Azaroon in the background, and then Susanoo we can use to search again. So depending on what else is in your hand, if you have extenders in your hand, you can just redump the hair that you had to burn. You could dump a different Bujin if you want, but there won't be one on the board for you to use unless you play into having that graveyard set up. But for now, we're just going to grab that other Harume for that extra body. Nice, easy summon. Throw it on the board, banish whatever you like. Then we'll link these away. SP, boom. Now, obviously, going first and summoning this sucks a little bit because you lose that first banish. But what we're ending on here is the Silhouette Rabbit. When this Azaroon activates and summons itself, you'll get a pop of a back row. So if you're setting up going first, that matters a little bit less, unless they're playing a deck that runs off of like a field spell or a continuous spell or something, which does exist. So then you can just pop their field spell. Hopefully it does more damage than good, because a lot of those have those search effects on pop. Then because I have the Azaroon instead of the Silhouette trick, it acts as a summon negation. So it's like a solemn essentially on the board. The SP has that temporary banish, and then the Thunder Dragon Colossus shuts them down from adding cards to their hand, apart from drawing, and that's off of 2 cards with Bujins. I think that deserves a like and a subscribe. Happy deck building. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Goodbye.